Thomas and Friends story time. Who's Geoffrey? Starring Thomas the Tank Engine, Percy and Cranky the Crane. Based on the railway series by the Reverend W. Awdry. Created by Britt Allcroft, read by Mark Morahan and friends. This is a story about Thomas the Tank Engine, a cheeky little blue steam engine with 6 small wheels, a short stumpy funnel, a short stumpy boiler and a short stumpy dome. He is the #1 engine on Sir Topham Hatt's railway and has a whistle that sounds like this. So now you've met the hero of our story, let's begin our journey. All aboard for a big adventure. Who's Geoffrey? It was a very busy day on the island of Sodor, especially for Thomas, who was late delivering his goods train to Brendam Docks. Down at the docks, Cranky, Salty and Porter were working hard to unload cargo from the waiting ships.
Okay, Salty, this one's yours.
On me way, matey! Ha!
Just then, Thomas raced onto the dockside. He was going too fast and bumped into some cars. Cranky was so surprised. He dropped the crate he was carrying and it burst open. Bouncy balls bounced all over the dock.
Shiver me axles!
What happened there?
It wasn't our fault.
The cars complained.
We were shunted too hard.
Cranky was cross. He didn't like to see the dockside in a mess.
Who shunted those trucks and caused all this chaos?
Porter and Salty looked puzzled.
It wasn't me.
Nor me, matey!
Well, somebody shoved us.
Cranky looked down at Thomas.
Thomas?
Me? No, it definitely wasn't me. It was, Geoffrey.
Cranky, Porter and Salty looked around.
I don't see any other engines around here.
Cranky was right. There was no Geoffrey. Thomas had made Geoffrey up to take the blame for causing the accident.
Well, he was here a minute ago, but now he's gone.
I've never even heard of any Geoffrey. What does he look like?
Thomas tried to pretend Geoffrey was real.
Geoffrey is, steamy. He's very big, and, he came over from the mainland.
Then Percy arrived. He wanted to know all about the new engine.
Who came over from the mainland?
As the other engines told Percy about Geoffrey, Thomas puffed slowly and quietly away from the dockside. Thomas's coaches Annie and Clarabelle had been getting a fresh coat of paint at the steamworks when Thomas came back to collect them.
Thomas, hello, my friend.
Hello, Victor.
Victor had already heard about Geoffrey.
I hear there's a new engine on Sodor. I'm very much looking forward to meeting him. You tell him if ever he needs a new paint job to come and see Victor. By the way, what color is this, Geoffrey?
He's red.
Thomas coupled up to Annie and Clarabelle and hurried out of the steamworks before Victor could ask any more questions.
Red. Very smart.
Annie and Clarabelle wanted to meet Geoffrey too.
When will we meet Geoffrey, Thomas?
I don't want to talk about Geoffrey, thank you very much.
It seemed everyone wanted to meet Geoffrey, but Thomas wished he'd never made Geoffrey up in the first place. Instead of getting Thomas out of trouble, Geoffrey seemed to be causing more and more trouble. Later that day, Thomas arrived at Knapford Station. James, Gordon and Percy were all talking about the new engine.
Well, I hear this Geoffrey character is red,
said James.
In my opinion, there are already too many red engines on Sodor.
Gordon was worried too.
I don't suppose he's very fast.
Oh, yes, he is,
said Percy.
Geoffrey is very fast. He's so fast that nobody even saw him leave Brendam Docks.
Then Sir Topham Hatt arrived.
What's all this talk about Geoffrey? I'd like to know what this strange engine is doing on my railway. But you, Thomas, seem to be the only one who's seen him.
Well, the thing with Geoffrey is, he's very shy, sir. Maybe we should just forget all about him and pretend nothing ever happened.
I'm sorry, Thomas, but I can't just forget about Geoffrey. Can you take me to see him, please?
But I can't do that because, he's hiding.
Hiding? Where?
Thomas didn't know what to say. He knew he couldn't take Sir Topham Hatt to see Geoffrey, because Geoffrey wasn't real. Thomas began to reverse out of the station, leaving a confused Sir Topham Hatt behind.
What? Thomas? Come back! Stop!
Sir Topham Hatt jumped into Percy's cab, and they chased after Thomas.
Thomas, what's wrong? Slow down!
Percy and Sir Topham Hatt followed Thomas all the way to Henry's tunnel. Percy waited outside.
I think Thomas is stopped in the tunnel now, sir.
Sir Topham Hatt peered into the tunnel, but it was too dark to see anything.
Thomas? Thomas! What's going on in there? Is Geoffrey with you?
Yes, sir. He's hiding here inside the tunnel, sir.
Thomas, tell Geoffrey I'd like to speak to him, please.
Called Sir Topham Hatt.
Oh, well...
So Thomas put on a silly voice and pretended to be Geoffrey.
Hello, this is Geoffrey. Sorry I can't come out, sir, but I'm very, very shy.
Well, Geoffrey, shy or not, you have caused confusion and delay. Just you go easy when you're shunting cars in future.
Sir Topham Hatt really thought that Geoffrey was in the tunnel.
Definitely, sir. No more accidents for me. Eh, Thomas?
No more accidents, Geoffrey.
Well, goodbye then.
Are you off? Well, goodbye, Geoffrey.
Then there was trouble. Spencer, the big silver streamline engine, was heading at full speed into the tunnel. Spencer didn't know Thomas was hiding at the other end. As Spencer thundered through the tunnel, Thomas felt the track rumbling under his wheels.
Fizzling fireboxes! What's that?
Then Spencer saw Thomas.
Out of my way! Out of my way!
Spencer braked as hard as he could and managed to stop before he crashed into Thomas. The two engines came out into the daylight, but Sir Topham Hatt was very confused. Geoffrey was nowhere to be seen.
Thomas? And Spencer? I don't understand. Where's poor Geoffrey?
Now Spencer wanted to know who Geoffrey was.
Who's Geoffrey?
He's a big red steamy from the mainland.
Percy explained.
Didn't you see him in the tunnel?
There was no engine in the tunnel. Except silly little Thomas.
Thomas, explain yourself.
I'm sorry, sir. I made Geoffrey up because I didn't want to get into trouble for causing that accident at Brendam Docks.
So, it was you, was it, Thomas? Now listen, we all have accidents. Why, only this morning, I smashed Lady Hatt's favourite teapot. And do you know what I did?
Thomas didn't know what to say.
You told her Geoffrey had done it?
No, I admitted it. And you should have admitted it too. You caused a lot of chaos by making up that silly story about Geoffrey.
I'm sorry, sir.
I hope you can learn from your mistake this time. Now, I need to get back to Knapford, Thomas, to buy a new teapot.
So does this mean there is no Geoffrey?
That's right, Percy.
What a shame. That Geoffrey sounded like a really nice engine.
Thomas felt very embarrassed, and he promised to own up to his mistakes in the future. And Geoffrey was never heard of again. The end. Listen out for other adventures with Thomas and Friends Storytime. Thomas and Friends is a registered trademark of Gullane Thomas Limited.